This video is about a seriously overrated movie called Avengers Infinity War. A movie that has so many plot holes that you can't count. The comical thing is people crying, fainting at the end of the movie, like these people aren't coming back. You know, most, if not all, will return for the next movie. Marvel is pretty clever, extremely clever for that matter. They've made a series of movies that will continue to drive their loyal fans, aka sheep, into the movie theater. And as ticket prices go up, that doesn't affect these people. For me and my son to go and see this movie and buy popcorn and a soda, you're talking $50 or more, because our IMAX tickets at the crappy theater we go to are about $18 a piece. First off, tell me if Doctor Strange has the ability to alter time, see what's going on in time. How come he didn't see Thanos coming a mile away? When Thanos first made his appearance in New York, why didn't he just stop time and reset it? No, because that would make sense and we wouldn't have a movie. Vision, who has the Mind Stone, should be able to control anybody. He should be able to turn Thanos' army against him. Instead, he gets his ass kicked every time you see him. Kind of like Black Panther got his ass kicked twice when he was challenged. Unless he had the go-go juice from the purple flower and became Black Panther, then he was pretty much unbeatable. Without it, he was just a normal dude who had average fighting skills. When they're on Titan and they just about have the glove off, tell me why Nebula had to tell Star-Lord or Star-Turd that Gamora was killed. If she had just kept her mouth closed until they got the glove off, then they would have had completed their mission and defeated Thanos. But no, she tells him. He uselessly punches him in the face, which does nothing. And then from there on, it was downhill. Doctor Strange then, of course, gets the Time Stone, gives it to Thanos in exchange for Tony's life. Now, first of all, Tony should be deader than a mackerel. He had a blade sticking 6 inches out of his chest. No human being in the world could survive that. But let's remember, in Marvel land, nobody dies. That's why this nonsense of people bawling their eyes out, fainting, and even one person died, rest his soul, watching the end of this. You don't have 2 brain cells and realize that most of these people are coming back, if not all of them. And then Stark cauterizes a wound in the front. How did he cauterize a wound in the back? And tell me, how's he going to get off a Titan? If Doctor Strange was there, he would just send them back to New York. I'm sure they'll figure some way out. When the movie starts, he'll be back in New York. You know these people are coming back because there's going to be another Black Panther movie, another Spider-Man movie, another Doctor Strange movie. The deaths in Marvel are cheap and cheesy because they mean nothing. As bad as the DC films are, at least when somebody dies, except for Superman, who we knew was going to come back because it's been like that in the comics for over 20 years. When somebody dies in dies in DC, they die. Not Marvel. But I'm sure to give it a dramatic finish in Avengers 4, one or two of these people will actually die. Probably either Steve or Captain America. Steve or Tony. Sorry about the mistake on that. But one of them will die, or both. The fight scenes were not that great. The only great part of this movie was Thor. His interaction with Rocket and him becoming really the hero of the movie was something that needed to be done a long time ago, because I always liked his character, and I think he got shortchanged. Now, am I saying all Marvel movies are bad? No, that would be a lie. Iron Man 1 was great. Winter Soldier was great. Doctor Strange was a very good movie, but probably the best Marvel movie, which isn't a part of the MCU, is Logan. So they've made good movies, but this feels like the same repetitive crap we've seen before. Pretty much the same scenario, except for now they have a giant CGI purple grape who is the villain. And Thanos is a bitch. He cried because he threw his stolen daughter off the cliff. Any villain that cries loses all respect of being a badass. Do you know what the Joker would have done if put in that situation? He would have not only threw her off the cliff, but he would have cut her throat, and then threw her off the cliff and laughed all the way as she went down and splattered against the rocks, because he's a sadistic, evil son of a bitch. Darth Vader was another great villain. Hannibal Lecter, another great villain. Thanos, an average Marvel villain. I know I'm going to get hate for this, but I really don't care, because I thought the movie was average. Nothing spectacular. But if you produce it, the sheep will come in droves and hand over their money like it's nothing. If they take a family of 3 or 4 and spend over $100, who cares if I have lights tomorrow or a phone? I went to see that movie. That's all that matters. It is an overrated movie like Black Panther was another overrated movie. I will not get into a discussion on what is the best comic book movie, because I don't feel like arguing with people. And unless it's a Marvel movie, when the trailer comes out, you Marvel diaper wearing fanboys will come out and attack every movie unless it has something to do with the MCU. You claim DC fans are bad, you're just as bad, if not worse. So get ready, save your money up for Avengers 4, and then I'm sure there'll be 25 more movies that Marvel will make, and you'll just dole out the money to them. And they'll love you for it as they live in their fancy mansions and drive their expensive cars at the expense of people who can't stop, analyze a movie and say, you know, really, this wasn't as great as I thought it was once I seen it again. I won't go back and see it. I won't buy it on DVD or, Blu-ray. I might watch it if it's on HBO or something, but that's as far as it'll go. Now it's Sunday morning. I know you Marvel fanboys are waiting till the theaters open up so you can rush in there and spend a ton of money to watch the movie for the 10th time over. Oh, and one more thing, let's get this fact straight. The only reason it broke the record by The Force Awakens is because A, you filmed it strictly in IMAX. More people will go to IMAX. 2, you're playing it in 340 more theaters, and tickets are 75 cents more a ticket than they were in late 2015. Of course you're going to break the record. Some theaters played it 24 hours straight. So you had one goal in mind. That was to break the opening box office record in North America. Congratulations, you did it. And you might do it with the next movie, because the crying and feigning Marvel fanboys and girls will rush to see this movie because they want to see a conclusion. So, brilliant planning on your part, Marvel. Just a few more dollars to put in your bank account so you can buy a bigger house and a fancier car and nicer suits. And we, as people, just keep giving you money upon money without taking 2 seconds to look at the movie and say, you know, really, this movie kind of sucked. Let the hatred begin. Later.